name's Mike Formas. I work at Stonecoast Fund Services. I'm an account manager for the hedge fund group there.
I'm Elizabeth Formas. I work at Stonecoast Hedge Fund Services, and I'm a group manager in investor relations. I grew up in Burlington, Vermont, which was a very easy transition to Portland, Maine. But after college in Vermont, I moved to Boston, where Michael and I met. And after Boston, we moved to Bermuda and spent a couple of years there and made our way back to the East Coast to Connecticut for 5 years before venturing up to Portland.
We'd visited, Maine a few times, few weekend trips up here, and just really fell in love with it.
We have 2 small children, and we really wanted them to grow up in an environment that was similar to where I was able to grow up in, being close to water and being close to mountains, so we can play in the water and ski. They both love it. They were 2.5 and 6 months when we moved up here, so they really won't know anything different than this lifestyle, which is exactly what we wanted, which is why we did move at this time. We were able to find a house in 48 hours.
Yeah.
And we're able to close 2 months later. And we were able to find a daycare that was the right fit for our kids and somewhere that we felt comfortable with. And we were very lucky that we found what we were looking for in both housing and childcare.
The fact that you can actually leave, over lunch break to walk along here along the ocean is fantastic. It's a good peace of mind, going back into work.
We're able to have dinner with our children every night. We are able to participate in things on the weekends with them, and like Michael said earlier, we have a 15-minute commute to work. You can't beat that.
I mean, plain and simple too, you're not on that, early train out of New Haven to the city, each month, to visit clients out there. The clients seem to be, they're still New York City based, but they are the ones coming up to visit us up here in Maine. It gives them a good excuse to get out of the office and come up here for a good seafood lunch and dinner.
You're never bored. There's always something to do, whether it's just going to the beach and relaxing, or a festival down in the Old Port, or shopping in Freeport, or hiking at one of the many mountains. There's always something to do to keep someone busy. Our work-life balance here in Maine is fantastic. I'm pretty heavily involved in our interviewing and recruiting process at Stonecoast, and we have never not interviewed. We are continuously interviewing and hiring and looking for the right person and the right fit. And I feel like that's pretty similar culture to what I've seen in Portland and to what our other friends have experienced here as well. If anybody was considering moving to Maine, I would tell them you never would be bored here.
The summers you can find us down at the beach, with the whole family from there. Fall time, like we're taking the kids up hiking. Skiing is definitely going to be on the radar once they get a little bit older. But it's really, those are the reasons why we moved up here. I mean, to really stay fit and active as a whole family.
The thing I love the most about living in Maine is the lifestyle that I am able to provide for my children.
I'm Michael Formas, and I live and work in Maine.
I'm Elizabeth Formas, and I live and work in Maine.